Hello, my name is Cynthia and I'm attempting to make my second floss tube video today. It's been about a month since I uploaded my first video and I was completely overwhelmed with all the positive comments and the kind words and encouragement on my stitching and on my video, and it was just such a positive experience, even more than I expected. So thank you for watching and subscribing and for leaving kind comments and for sharing my video as well. I'd like to particularly thank Daylene from So Grateful. She was so kind to mention me in her video and just had such glowing things to say about me. It was just a nice pick me up on kind of a tough day, and just a reminder to me of the importance of encouraging others and leaving comments and being kind. So thank you very much for that warm welcome. I'd like to show you what I've been up to the last month, kind of update you on some of my works in progress, and I did have one finished to share. And at the end I will show what I'm going to be working on next month and kind of preview some of my plans for Mania, because I will be participating for the first time. So I wanted to kind of give you a sneak peek of that, and I have one piece of haul from Market. So let's get started with my finish for last month. And again, I'm in the wrong season. I seem to stay in the wrong season. But this was a piece that I had picked up on a deep sale. I think I got the pattern for a couple dollars from Heart and Hand. And it's obviously for winter. It's called Winter Medley. I'll show you the chart in a minute. But I wanted that snowman and the snowflakes to show up better than they did in the model. So I hand dyed this fabric, kind of a bluey color, bluey, a little bit of teal for a night sky. It says Winter Night at the bottom. So I thought that turned out pretty cute, and I got this plaque from the Goodwill, of course, for $2.99. It had like a palm tree and it was like burgundy. So it's just magnetized on there. And I'll show you what's going to go on here next when I talk about my plans. But I thought it was cute, and like I said, it was a real quick stitch, or affordable stitch. So let me show you the pattern. It looks a lot different in the model, as I said. It's called Winter Medley, and it was done on tan with kind of some rusts and browns. And I thought winter should be more kind of cool tones and blue, and the white snowman shows up better, I think, on a darker fabric. But it was a cute, pattern and quick stitch, so thought I'd share that. And then I also was working on Barbara Anna again. I'm really putting a push in to try to finish that in April. My hope is to start another Barbara Anna pattern, but I'm kind of holding myself back by kind of dangling that carrot. If I finish 2/3, then I can order the pattern. If I finish all the way, then I can get the threads, kind of like that. So I did get quite a bit of progress on it. It's just still so big though. And I am going to keep the face. Thank you for your kind words about what I changed. Still need to put some polka dot colors in that bird and the words. I traveled all the way across. Hope you can see that. But I still have a lot of filling in to do. So at the 2/3 point, I think it'll be the cat and the heart with those flowers on both sides. So at that point, I'm intending to order my next Barbara Anna. So still loving that project. It's just really big. The other really big project to kind of stay on that theme that I've been working on is the Village at Hawk Run. And I did not make it as far as I hoped. Not even close. I sort of got bogged down with the tree. Let me show you. I sort of got bogged down with the tree that's on the second block. It's really kind of something I haven't done before as far as like all the back stitching. And so I'm kind of stalled, but I have finished almost all of it, and I've started on the 3rd block. And I made those birds red, and I put in Dr. Jim. I haven't finished our last name. And the lakeside turned out pretty well too, I thought. But instead of kind of beating myself up about having one block a month, which I am still going to shoot for, but if I don't, I'm just going to start trying to just stitch away at it a little bit each day. And in the morning is kind of the time I've picked to work on this. I'm trying to make it sort of a meditative piece or a prayer piece. I put my prayer list beside me in the morning when it's kind of quiet, and I try to pray for my family and for my friends that are in need during this time. So it maybe adds a little more meaning to this and some memories to my people that are important to me that I've prayed for while I worked on this. So kind of gave it some new meaning and a little more encouragement to keep at it. It's not really, I've heard people say it's like, you know, taking a bite out of an elephant. That's how you eat it, one bite at a time. This is more like, I feel like water on stone, you know, like the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River. I feel like I'm just dripping away at stone, and it's not that bad, but it's so behemoth that I find myself getting a little discouraged. So still sticking with it though, and still loving it. It's so pretty. Kathy Barrick was the name I tried to remember last time. She's my favorite, my other favorite designer with Barbarina. So still working on Hawk Run. And I really wanted to finish on my Brooks Books piece, The Scarecrow. I stayed up really late the other night trying to get to the end, and I almost made it, but I have another leg and a few little details. But he's turning out really cute. In fact, he's a little bit cuter than I even expected. It doesn't really show on the pattern how he's going to turn out. I need to do some back stitching on his face, and he has these little bits of straw that stick out everywhere. It's going to look really cute, like I said. And last time I just had a couple bricks done, so I've made some good progress. I think I'll be done with that in an evening. I wanted to point out my needle minder that I made. It was kind of funny. I got that at a craft fair when I was probably in like junior high, and I used to wear that on my acid wash jean jacket, kind of like flare, if you will. I had a whole collection of pins and things like that that I would wear, and so that one makes me smile because I popped the pin off the back and used one of those earth magnets that they sell at Daiso, which is like a kind of dollar store that we have in the Metroplex. I got 4 of those for $1.50, so I've made a couple more needle minders pretty affordably. So still loving this, just didn't get finished quite like I liked. Another thing I've been working on is Sarah Woodham. She's another big girl, another lot of work, but so gratifying. I'm really enjoying working on her. And I posted this on Instagram the other day. Oops, I think I just lost my needle. I made it all the way around on the border, and I was just positive that was going to meet up. It looked so promising. But when I got to the end, I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can. I was half a stitch off. So I was sort of bummed because I thought I'd been so careful and so meticulous to make the border meet up, and I just didn't quite make it. But I don't think it'll show because it'll be pretty sorry if my kids are laughing, they're watching Ben 10 in the background. I don't think it'll be noticeable once I get the motifs, and I don't think it'll knock the design out of whack. It's just half a stitch, so wish me luck on that because I'm not redoing that border. That took me several days. So I hope to work on that some more. I really enjoy working one floss over 2 threads. It just seems to go quicker and easier. It looks nicer. So I think I'll seek out 36 count pieces in the future with a single strand of floss. Just something I'm really enjoying. And then something that wasn't really slated to be a start for me, but of kind of just play, I decided to try this spring pattern by the Cricut collection. I picked this up, can't remember where I got that. I think it was at Silver Needle, and I think a lot of people are working on these. They're really cute. They have like a different motif for every letter in the season, and I wanted mine to stand out a little better than that model did. I felt like it kind of faded out in the background, so I dyed this. It's a little brighter on camera than in person, but not much. It's pretty bright. It's kind of a blue purple color. It reminds me of these flowers my mom used to plant. I think they're called grape hyacinth. They're like little tiny bulbs that come out at the very beginning of spring, and they're that blue purple color. So I was really happy with how those looked with the threads. They really stand out, I feel like. And I'm leaving off the hat that's at the beginning. My mom always tried to put me in hats. And I feel like that hat kind of obscures the letter. I'm going to try to fill it in myself so that it's a solid S. Or it's still striped, but so it's got the curve at the top, and just fill in the flowers and snail around it. So not something I'm going to finish, but I just wanted to play with it, and I'll probably slate to finish it for next spring. So spring's going to be over by the time I get finished with it anyway. So that's what I've been working on this month. Again, I didn't make the progress I'd hoped, but I got quite a bit done anyway. So for my plans for next month, I'll continue to work on the Sarah Woodham piece and the Hawkern Hollow, of course, and also hopefully push for a finish on my Barbara Anna Love piece. So wish me luck on that. And I also intend to start the piece that goes on the hanging that I showed you at the beginning, the winter medley. I have a couple more charts to go on that, and I'm going to put the gardening medley up next. I thought this was really cute with the trowel and the rake, and well, it doesn't have a rake, but I bought a little charm like a rake. And hopefully that'll be quick enough of a stitch that I'll have something spring up on the wall. And I'll probably leave it out through the summer too. Even though I have another one that's more of a summer medley, I'm going to leave this up for a while. Give me a little bit of a rest. But these patterns I got on sale from a place that was going out of business. I think the Cat and Needle in Illinois online. I got it for like $2. So all the 4 that I got were about the price of one pattern. So that was fun. And I also, excuse me, had to go out of frame. I also have made up plans for Mania. I have a lot of charts that I've been collecting over the last 7 or 8 months, and I don't want to do a stash parade because that would take too long, but over the next month I'm going to finish kitting up the pieces that I've kind of been just sitting and waiting, and I plan to start 20 new starts and 11 whips. So I'm kind of doing the 31-day Mania, and it's quite a challenge. I've never done it before, so it may be something I like and it may not, but I have all these patterns that I bought anyway, so I might as well be stitching on them. And I've come up with a calendar. I kind of cut and paste, just a little sneak peek. Some of the pieces that I'll be working on, the green ones are whips, and the other ones are things that I've had in my stash for quite a while, some of them since last year, and might as well start them. I wanted to just challenge myself and have fun with it. So in a couple weeks, like I said, I should have everything together for the pieces that I'm going to be working on, and I intended to do a longer video to show you what I'm going to be stitching on. I've done a lot of hand dyeing of my own fabrics and collecting some specialty threads, so I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. And the last thing I wanted to share, I had one viewer ask if I could please show my grandmother's Paula Vaughn piece that was in the background. I had technical difficulties. I've continued to have technical difficulties, unfortunately. I have too many photos on my laptop. Over the last 7 or 8 years, I've got almost 3,000 photos, so I've got to figure out a way to store those somewhere else, or to store my video somewhere else. I'm just having some trouble, so bear with me as I figure that out, and I'm sorry I couldn't put that video in, but this is the piece that I referred to that was stitched by my grandma Helen, and I believe it's called Love Song. It's really big and heavy. Like I said, she did that back in the 90s, and it has a ton of backstitch. Very detailed. It has the hem "It Is Well with My Soul," which is my favorite. And my grandma and I used to sit at the piano together. I have accompanied choirs and things in the past. I'm not really very good. I try to defer to people who are better at piano than me, but I do enjoy it. And so those are some fun memories. I have lots of pictures of my grandma and I together at the piano. So that was the Paula Vaughn piece that I was unable to insert video of last time. And oh, I had one other thing. A viewer that had also found me on Instagram named Kathy was asking some questions about how I dye and how I get my fabrics, and everything I have is mostly from Joann's and Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I just usually get the 28 count. I have some higher count linens that I got from 123 Stitch, but I was answering some of those questions, and she asked if I minded if she sent me an extra copy of the Hands-On Design Carrots and Cottontails farm. And I said, of course, thank you. That's so kind. So thank you, Kathy, for sending that along. That's definitely going to be stitched eventually. I have that shutter to put it on, so it's going to be really cute next year. So thank you to Kathy. She also sent another pattern that I'll probably share with my Sit and Stitch group that's been meeting. We had 22 last month. So again, if you're from the Metroplex, comment down below. I'd love to invite you to come and stitch on the first Friday of the month. And the only other thing I forgot, I had one more piece of haul that I picked up from Market, and I got it from Kitten Stitcher, and it was HL's Moth. Sorry if there's a little glare. You've probably already seen this. It was just one that really stood out to me as unique and cute. And my grandmother that I talk about so much, her initials are HH. So I'm going to change it to HH because that'll be really easy to just repeat the letter. So this is going to be HH's Moth for me. And that will be part of my Mania Starts. That's my plan. So I thank you for watching. And I sort of ended it awkwardly last time, kind of ran out of things to say, which I'm probably going to do from time to time. But I did find a verse that was meaningful to me. It kind of encapsulated my hopes for the work that I'm doing with my hands, for this legacy that I hope to leave for my children. And it's found in Psalm chapter 90, verse 17. It said, "Let the favor of the Lord our God be upon us and establish the work of our hands." So I hope that for you, that you will find God's favor and that you will work with your hands as unto Him and as a love gift to our family and those that come after us. Thanks so much for watching.